Hello, dear all. Nice to meet you again. We are on air now, and our guest today is Nataly Simson with a very interesting topic about BTCU. Your turn, Nataly. You are on it.
Thank you so much, Sergey. Hello, everyone. My name is Nataly Simson, and I'm a Chief Business Development Officer at BTCU, which is Blockchain Ultimatum. It is the new fork of Bitcoin. Based on our concept, I came up with the idea to tell you about modern blockchain infrastructures, their trends, main challenges, and perspectives. And actually, the thing that I will start about is the main challenges that just like blockchain products, platforms, and ecosystem are facing with today. And it's important to say that blockchain already was at its peak of popularity owing a surge in demand of cryptocurrencies and numerous ICOs with issuance of new tokens in a legal gray zone. And the technology was tested by pilot transactions in a corporate environment and survived attempts to hack blockchain networks, wallets, and token exchange platform, as well as investigations in various jurisdictions, and it seeks to take its place within the diversity of technologies that can be used in incorporating global systems. And the use of this technology makes it possible to move from transferring data about asset movements to transferring assets themselves using cryptography, as well as to adapt the modern infrastructure to dealing with new asset types that require more flexible approaches and focus on the technological part of the service. And market participants develop their own solutions based on the distributed ledger technology, play an active role in various consortiums, and launch pilot solutions on different blockchain platforms to find out what opportunities the blockchain technology can offer in practice. And the main problem of the technology development are, the first one is the platform solutions. Any technology which is used currently must ensure the highest level of protection of assets themselves and offer mechanisms to prevent unauthorized data access. And the identification of a network participant is also crucial. However, when launching trading platforms for cryptocurrencies and different tokens, that experience was ignored. This led to thefts of more than 6.5% of the total amount of the first Bitcoin directly from centralized platforms within the period from 2011 to 2019. So trading platforms that have been launched with a certain level of decentralization do not currently demonstrate a large trading volume compared with centralized solutions and account for less than 1% of the total trading volume, which may be due to the operational instability and high risks, as well as due to problems with identification of participants in a fully distributed open network architecture, right? And the analysis of security breaches of systems that handle assets stored and issued directly on the blockchain shows that the vast majority of successful attacks happen not through cryptographic schemes, and that they are aimed at gaining access to private keys for e-wallets and making quick withdrawals. And the second problem of the modern blockchain products and ecosystems is data privacy. Actually, despite the evolution of basic and applied cryptography, there are still not many blockchain technology solutions available that have the necessary set of features to provide anonymity to its users. Blockchain protocols do not really implement those functions. Last year, for example, Bitfury experts said that they could reveal the identities of more than 16% of all owners of Bitcoin addresses. Can you imagine that? And a few years earlier, the CryptoLux development team conducted a study on the anonymity of transactions to the Bitcoin network, and they proved that up to 60% of addresses can be successfully de-anonymized. And in their work, they showed that the ability to bin a Bitcoin account to IP addresses of users, even if they use Tor network or other similar programs or features. And the lack of anonymity when making payments can damage the business itself. Now, when using fiat money, only the tax service can access the company's financial statements, right? But in the blockchain, data is available to all users, including competitors and attackers and hackers. And that has become an obstacle to the development, to the deployment of global business processes based on blockchain protocols and platforms. And the third problem is actually interaction between multiple blockchain platforms. Perhaps the biggest problem in the industry is currently facing is how few markets or platforms can actually interact in any way with each other. And despite the fact that there are systems for connecting various blockchain and currencies, tokens or assets, there are still few of them, and they are located far from each other. And collaboration in this industry is the most important condition for achieving key growth. Otherwise, it will always remain a very limited field in the industry. And the existing infrastructure also makes users primarily focus on the main markets. Diversification is critical in this industry, actually, but it's more often ignored right now. And the fourth problem is actually performance and scalability of any blockchain, because a blockchain solution can only have two of the following three features. The first one is decentralized architecture, the second one is scalability, and the third one is data confidentiality. And the first public blockchain platforms had significant performance constraints associated with substantial computing and communication costs determined by the use of proof of work consensus protocol and non-deterministic public network architecture. And as a result, the waiting time for a transaction to be accepted by the first blockchain networks could be as long as minutes, hours, or even days in case of any deviation from the normal network operation. And the transaction rate gradually increased from 7 transactions per second in Bitcoin and 14 transactions per second in Ethereum to more than 1,000 transactions per second in protocols that are based on proof of stake consensus algorithm. But to ensure increasing activity to network participants, we need solutions and universal consensus that can provide more than 10,000 TPS, with a critical growth point for the massive implementation of technology and the emergence of blockchain-based platforms and ecosystems. And the fifth one is tokenization of assets. So it's reasonable to implement payment functions directly onto the blockchain in the form of real-time gross settlement system or to apply other settlement models. And the lack of regulatory framework and the lack of many solutions of various kinds for assets tokenization creates a situation in which this important aspect of technology development is in limbo and actually doesn't have a clear development and implementation strategy. So to sum up the first part of my speech, I would like to say that blockchain is definitely one of the most promising technologies for infrastructure projects. However, it remains an alternative way to work with data along with centralized and cloud solutions. And the use of distributed ledger technology for implementing infrastructure solutions makes it possible to simplify processes and as compared to the use of multiple centralized solutions, to improve the transparency of the financial market for the regulator, and to create an enabling environment for application of flexible settlement models directly onto the blockchain. So we are just like coming to another part of my speech. I would like to analyze existing blockchain infrastructure and ecosystems, and to see what disadvantages do they have for now. Because currently blockchain technologies, they're actively developing and solving narrow tasks or implementing large-scale technical solutions and building blockchain ecosystems on the basis of which products and platforms are implemented. Let's take a look to the most popular protocols that we have right now and ecosystems. There are solutions and disadvantages that interfere with the development of the technology. And the first platform that I'm going to analyze is Waves. So everyone knows that Waves is a platform which allows users to issue custom tokens that will be the equivalent of some assets, carry out various operations with them, and also implement such areas as trading, exchanging fiat and crypto, voting on a blockchain, and decentralized crowdfunding. And the Waves platform is actually based on the least proof of stakes consensus. And this type of consensus allows you to create blocks in 10 seconds due to the limited number of nodes, about 100. So LPOS actually enables users to list their balance sheets to their sites in the exchange for a portion of the profits. And basically the main disadvantages of Waves protocol of Waves ecosystem is actually the lack of anonymous transactions and actually not enough throughput to be scalable. And the second ecosystem that I'm going to tell you about is actually BitShares. I couldn't forget about BitShares because it's one of the most developed blockchain ecosystems right now. So BitShares is an open source, public, and blockchain-based real-time trading platform, and it provides a decentralized exchange of cryptocurrency assets without the need to trust the centralized funds. BitShares is actually not only a platform, but also an exchange, a bank, a software, a cryptocurrency accounting register, and a network. And the idea of the BitShares protocol is to create a tool with which it would be possible to trade various assets and currencies in a decentralized environment without depositing them on the trading platform. And actually, BitShares uses a DPoS consensus algorithm and actually work by adding a new layer of management to the traditional proof of stake architecture. Users delegate their shares and actually it allows you to select witnesses who collect transactions, form blocks, and transmit them to the network. And actually, it also has a currency, which is BTS. But for most users, the voting process is Bundestone. But so it was decided to vote by proxy. So this helps to reduce apathy among voters and allows shareholders to quickly respond to urgent business and security issues. So with delegated witnesses, you get centralized management based on a temporary contract, with which you have the right to withdraw at any time, thus perceiving decentralization. And actually, BitShares also has its disadvantages, and the one of them includes the feature. We can just like include the feature of providing assets, the price of which is actually tied to real assets or fiat money. For example, the value of BitGold will always be equal to the price of gold. But since this asset is provided with BTS coins, if the cryptocurrency rate decreases, the collateral will not be enough to buy out the asset. And the second disadvantage is again, the lack of anonymity of anonymous transactions. And the third ecosystem is actually Ethereum. And it is a whole platform for creating services based on the blockchain. And this platform is implemented as a decentralized virtual machine using the smart contract algorithm. And the platform itself checks the realities with your contract and transfers the money as a bank cell tied to the contract, but everything is automated and decentralized. And the solutions offered by Ethereum are very well suited for businesses and banking relationships. And the main purpose of Ethereum is the platform and its own network and not the cryptocurrency, because Ethereum cryptocurrency was conceived as a value unit in this network. But if we are talking about the flaws of Ethereum, the creator himself highlighted the following points. The first one is the scalability, because today, Ethereum processes about 500,000 of transactions per day, and at full capacity can process about no more than 20 transactions per second. And malicious activity of mining pools and the activists can impede the growth of Ethereum. From size and speed issues to performance and gas limitation, there is no general agreement on scaling. And the second one is actually that proof of work algorithm is extremely expensive, and in addition is basically prone to 51% attacks, right? And the third one is again like of anonymous transactions. I'm sorry. And actually, for now, we're gonna move to the next point. I'm gonna highlight the existing problems that that we have right now, that blockchain community is facing with right now, and after that, I will proceed to the BTCU project, which can also solve all the problems stated in my speech. So, what are the main, actually, not even the problems, but tasks that we have for now? The first one that ecosystem and infrastructure should have is a high bandwidth, high throughput, because for the widespread use, cryptocurrencies must have high transaction throughput. This is the must, because this system has about 5K transactions per second. If you consider cryptalized applications, then we need per second, right? And at the moment, the most famous cryptocurrencies have problems with the scalability. The second one is the flexible approach to and non-linear solutions, because this concept reminds of the original definition of scalable in distributed systems, meaning that both the scale-out blockchain and the scalable distributed system offer higher throughput between them, is that scalability in distributed system requires a linear increase in system performance, along with the number of servers, which are nodes. With non-linear solution while a non-linear solution allow you to flexibly determine the block size and the technical requirements for each nodes, depending on the current network load, which often grows progressively. So the third one is anonymity. So for business, it's important to keep privacy and offer often commercially important transaction information. And for individuals, it's also important to keep their privacy and confidentiality of their data. The first task for now is actually using of universal consensuses, and maybe combine different consensuses with each other, and because algorithms are critical to maintaining network integrity and security, and the most common consensus algorithms are proof of work and proof of stake. Each has its own advantages and disadvantages when trying to balance security with functionality and scalability of a network. And in my opinion, actually only a combination of the most successful consensuses can give the best solution for the market in order to maintain decentralization and network security, and also allows to scale this solution. And the fifth one is DApp creation solutions, because decentralized applications are developed using smart contracts on various blockchain protocols supporting this solution. And the more different solutions there will be on the market, actually, the faster the technology will be able to develop, changing markets based on technology specifications. And the sixth one, and actually it's the last one, is a cross-protocol solutions, because the possibility of free exchange of currencies between different protocols, tokens, and distribution of assets increases overall diversification, because the ability and variety of these offers can lead to the creation of a unique cryptocurrency ecosystem that is different from what we currently have. Because atomic swaps will ensure compatibility between different projects on completely different scales. In the coming years, we will definitely encounter more interaction with digital assets, because of a new type of trading solution will receive more attention, actually. So let me go directly to the Bitcoin ultimatum, and how did we come to this idea to create a new fork of Bitcoin. So, and let us look at the solution of the main problems facing blockchain infrastructures today, using the example of the BTCU. Yes, so basically today there are many technological solutions that take blockchain technology to a new level. But all these solutions are implemented in different blockchain protocols. Many of these protocols have one or more advanced solutions or features, but they also have their drawbacks. So actually, in the first proof of work consensus in Bitcoin was to if it was to guarantee the decentralization of the network. This is so, but we all remember that Chinese companies reduced BTC production because more than 54% of computing power was actually concentrated in this region, which could lead to a violation of the basic principle of the Bitcoin is decentralization, right? So for today, we don't see the solution on the market that could suit us, because to utilize all the advanced solutions, to unite all the advanced solutions and give a new stage in the development of blockchain technology and the expansion of the practical use of blockchain in the real sector of the economy, social and business of creating a fork of BTCU actually is just like analyzing all the situation in the market right now and the main problems. And let me tell you about the main features of BTCU and the main difference of this fork the main difference from other forks that we have right now. So the first thing is that we will have a smart contract. So BTCU concept provides for the presence of smart contracts in the blockchain protocol as an essential function for the implementation of transactions and the app application. The team plans to implement atomic swap technology into the blockchain protocol to make it possible to interact with different blockchains. So the second one is actually innovative mining algorithms, because our team actually opposes the classic energy-consuming proof of work mining. And Bitcoin Ultimatum blockchain will be based on LPOS mining algorithm, which will be combined with POA, where LPOS will be used for mining, and POA, which is proof of authority, will be used for transaction validation. And the third one is actually the validators. There will be a limited number of validators in BTCU, about 20, because in order to prevent centralization and control over the network, 10 validators will be chosen by the team, and the second half of them will be determined by the community on the basis of POA principle. They will be determined by 10 largest coin holders, who can also themselves be validators and holders of master nodes. But in the future, validators will be able to change, but the total number will remain the same. The fourth feature of BTCU is actually high throughput. Actually one of the most important things that we need to resolve for now, because using the POA protocol for confirming transactions will increase the throughput of the blockchain and get speed of 200 TPS in the beginning, with the ability to scale up to 10,000 TPS. So. And it's important to notice that in Bitcoin, the current throughput is about 3.8 transactions per second, which actually creates additional inconvenience to users when carrying out transactions. And the fifth one, but not the last one, is private transactions. One of the most important and demanded elements of any blockchain network is actually anonymity, as I told. And in order for users of the BTCU blockchain to maintain their anonymity in transactions while conducting them, our development team has added the ability to carry out private transfers within the network. So basically, that was the main features of our Bitcoin fork, which is Bitcoin Ultimatum. And to sum up, I want to say that it is necessary to build a solid blockchain infrastructure that can provide trust, privacy, speed, and scalability. And the BTCU blockchain is actually one of those infrastructures currently developing on the market. Our team now is looking for advisors, validators, and we are always open to get the community's feedback on what we do. So please check our website, which is btcu.io. And feel free to contact me via email, which is cbdo@btcu.io. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. That was Nataly Simson, Chief Business Development Officer of Bitcoin Ultimatum, which is BTCU. Thank you for your attention. Please, everyone, stay safe, take care of yourself, and thank you. Thank you again.
Thank you, Nataly. Nice to greet here as well. And I am reminded that we are being on digital online channel now, and with us being Nataly Simson, the CEO of BTCU. Am I right?
CBDO.
I'm sorry. Okay, nice to meet you again. Nice to meet all of you once more time. See you. Bye.
Thank you so much. Bye. Thank you.